today. Hopefully he'll be back on Monday, but Bryant Dacus and Darian Newsome with me. We'll be with you for the next 2 hours. A ton to get into today. We've got great guests throughout the entire show. We got to talk about Thursday Night Football last night. The Jets get a win at home. A lot of people questioning why were they favored last night, but they get the win. Grizzlies get back to their winning ways with a win last night against the Bucks. But I want to talk a lot of high school football. We got a big game tonight, and as always, Coach Ben Bennett is with us, and today brought along Owen Wagner with him, a senior linebacker and H-back. So, Coach, let's start with you. Another week, another big game tonight, the final regular season game of the year, if I'm not mistaken, and it's against the biggest rival, Collierville. What is this week been like?
Man, this week has been, for me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people at Houston, has been tense. I mean, my mind has only thought about one thing, and that's Friday night. I mean, you're talking about one of the biggest games in West Tennessee. It's happening tonight in Shelby County in Germantown. So much on the line. First place, you're playing against your rival. First place on the line, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, it is going to be everything and then some.
Okay, so explain it to me again. So for playoff seeding, how does tonight impact that?
The winner of this game is going to have the home field.
Okay.
The loser of this game is going to have to do a little traveling.
Okay.
You should get you a couple games at home and a couple games on the road if you get that far.
Interesting.
But hopefully, with all being tonight, we're going to go out there in front of a packed house. I mean, they're talking anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 people. I mean, it's going to be. I think the Goodyear Blimp's coming in. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, well, I saw I guess a tweet either yesterday or the day before saying it's complete sold out. Here's the rules. We're gonna, it's gonna be strict out there. So seems like it's gonna be a great environment. I know last week when you were on, we had Gates Mims with you, which was a fantastic interview. Anybody that missed that should go back and listen to last Friday. Everybody throughout the week just telling me how incredible his story is, how incredible of a young man he is. And I hear we have some good news on Gates.
Yep, the biopsy there on the spot that he had on his lower leg came back negative, so he's in remission.
It's fantastic.
He's still got the bone marrow transplant going forward on November 15th, and man, we're just ready for this to get completed, to get over, and for him to be back healthy again and get back to school and enjoy his senior year.
Yeah, an awesome guy. I mean, after he was done, we were out there talking for about 30 minutes or so, maybe even longer.
I think it was longer.
I came in and I left, and y'all were still out there talking. So,
yeah, it was definitely longer.
I lost track of time, but it was great kind of getting to know his story a little bit more. Really an awesome guy. But Owen, let's get to you. So senior year,
sir.
Senior night tonight against Collierville. What have these 4 years been? Tell me about, when did you start playing varsity? Tell me a little bit about your high school career.
So my freshman year, I was a big special teams guy. And then I finally got a real start my sophomore year playing H-back. And, ever since I got on the field, I didn't want to be taken off.
Yeah.
It's been extremely fun, and I'm very grateful for every moment.
Yeah. Tell me about Coach Thomas. So I played at Houston when Coach Thomas was defensive coordinator. And when I left, I think it was the year after I left, he became head coach. Talk to me about him as a head coach and kind of what he's taught you and what he means to you.
Oh, he's awesome, man. He really keeps us on the the conduct side of football, not losing our heads and keeping us in the game. And he's also a really good offensive line coach. So, we're thankful for him. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And big game against Collierville. Do we still do classy, trashy?
We do.
Okay, so that's still a thing. So what does tonight mean, being both senior night and the biggest rival at the end of the year?
It's also my last regular season game, so this game means a lot to me. Chance to win the region and hold that home field advantage all the way through the playoffs. So I'm super excited, ready to go.
Yeah, and we were just talking about Gates Mims. I mean, tell me about him and kind of that process for your team. I mean, learning that and then just kind of going through the season for him. I was at the game, I guess, last Thursday it was, and putting up the 30s I thought was really cool. I mean, tell me about that.
Me and Gates were never really close outside of football, but when someone you go to war with every Friday night and you practice with and you see him every day, when you hear that news, it hurts you.
Yeah.
You feel a certain way, and I'm grateful he's getting better and feeling better. And, he came out to practice last week, and that was awesome to see. So I'm just excited for him and
Absolutely.
Seeing what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, so I just mentioned last Thursday against White Station, a good win. What does a Thursday night football week after look like? Because I was telling some people, I'm at the Houston High School football game, they're on, it's Thursday night. What are you talking about? But we know ref shortages, you're forced to play on Thursday night. What does now kind of this week of preparation look like when instead of playing on Friday, you're playing on Thursday?
We kept everything going the same speed. You know, let the guys. They had a couple days off. We get back in there and on Sunday and get it ready. Just kept it the same. You don't want to change a lot of stuff up. Gives them that extra day of rest, and so everything went real well. I think preparation this week has been really good. There was an intensity even in the players.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows. Nobody is lacking right now for what the meaning of this game is, and you can even throw out first and second place. I mean, it's a Germantown Carnival thing. There's a trophy involved, a mayor's trophy tonight.
All right.
So there's more. There's so much more than just that first place. It's a lifetime. It's 30 years from now when you see somebody wearing a Collierville shirt, and you can tell them, "Hey, I remember on November 1st, 2024 when this happened."
Yeah, absolutely. So for Collierville, undefeated this year, they've got a good team over there. What are we preparing for? What do they do well? What do we look out for them? I don't want you to give out any secrets for tonight or anything, but what do they do well? I mean,
I'm in my head right now trying to talk like a coach, and not like a
coach
player.
Speak, yes.
They got a little guy, number 7. He seems to get open a lot. I think that's a key. You got to kind of watch on him, keep him kind of contained. Defensive line, do your job. Our defensive line does their job and gets pressure.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. Mainly is have a clean game, no turnovers.
Definitely.
You win the turnover battle, here we go.
Yeah.
You got 3 phases of the game, and hopefully tonight we win all 3 of them.
Yeah. So Owen, we've talked about it a little bit. Senior year, senior night. What is decided on college, and what does it look like for you after high school?
I'm definitely planning on playing football in college. Don't know where yet. I've got some interest, but I'm not really focused on that at the moment.
Yeah.
Just trying to enjoy the last little moments of my senior football season that I got left, and then focus on that right after.
Absolutely. What is your favorite memory of being at Houston?
I mean, it's really hard to beat getting that state championship.
That's hard. That's tough.
But I guess my favorite play would be fourth quarter of the Germantown playoff game last year. I got a pick, pretty much sealed the deal. And I just remember running off the sidelines, just freaking out, and I was too tired to go in on offense the next play. So, that's probably my favorite play. But that's getting that ring's better than anything in the world. I
think if you get an interception on the defensive end, I think you earn yourself a little bit of a break offensively.
Yeah, I got 2 plays, and then Coach JT kind of, hey, don't celebrate again, man. You're done with that.
I love it. So state championship, that was exciting. The whole drive. I was hearing from guys that I haven't heard from in 6 years, and saying, "Hey, man, look what Houston's doing." What was that like? That experience of winning state.
It was unbelievable. On the drive up there, that's when it really hits you. Like the whole week of practice, you're just like, it's another game. We're just playing a really good team, and then on the way, because we went to a high school to eat first, and then once we got on the bus to head to the stadium, that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my God, we're about to play for the state championship. And then, once you get on the field, it all goes away, and you're just playing football again.
Yeah,
but it's unbelievable. It was so far the best day of my life. So
love it. I love it. Who would you say you model your game at? Who are some guys you look up to as a high school player?
Playing linebacker, I always watched Luke Kuechly.
That's a good one.
Ray Lewis. A lot of people don't know, but Wesley Woodyard played linebacker for the Titans, and Brian Urlacher, of course.
Yeah.
So those are pretty much the guys I kind of watch them.
Yeah.
And try to figure out what they're doing and not really copy it, but understand it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who are your teams? You got a college team, NFL team. I'm wearing my Cowboys hat. I've already been mocked here this morning about being a Cowboys fan, but it's okay. Mainly that guy in there, but it's all right.
I'm a true blood Titans fan, which hurts.
Yeah. Wow.
And go Tigers, go! Big
All right.
Memphis fan.
I like it.
Yeah. Sticking with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was that? What was that look for? It was, felt like you wanted to say something. Right?
I'm also a little bit of a Texas fan, but
all right.
I'm not trying to be a bandwagon.
I see. Okay, I understand it now.
So-
Okay, that's all right.
I'm just gonna,
It's okay. I mean, good team. You know?
Yeah.
Good players.
Yeah.
Titans. Do they need a new quarterback, or are we still rocking with Levis?
I've lost faith, man.
Okay. All right.
It's whatever. They can do what they want. They fired Vrabel. I'm just here.
Were we a fan of the Vrabel firing?
I loved Vrabel.
I mean, how
loved
could you
Vrabel.
not?
It was great.
He's a great
coach.
coach. Yeah.
Amazing coach. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. No, I wasn't a huge fan of that move. But hey, I mean, if the Cowboys, make a firing, I wouldn't mind them going with Vrabel. That'd be fine with me. So, Coach, back to you. Last game of the regular season. What have been, as we kind of reflect before playoffs, what have been the positives from this team this season? What have been the negatives from this team this season? Maybe not negatives, but things to clean up as we get ready for playoffs.
I think not so much more as a positive negative, but I think the way this team kind of put themselves back together after that 2-game stretch we had that was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, because it was back-to-back losses.
Back-to-back, tough losses. These weren't something where you walked off the field going, "Man, we had them."
Yeah.
No, these were tough. These were tough losses. These were bad played football games, but they got out there and got back together as a team and came out. And I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous going into the Bartlett game. I thought, man, this could be a holy moly. Here we go. Good Lord, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And then they went out and totally dismantled Bartlett.
Sure.
Took them apart like a Lego puzzle. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
And I knew right then and there, okay, we're back. They're back. Here we go. Let's take off on another run.
Definitely. When you talk about some of those teams, I mean, Clarkville tonight, undefeated. That game earlier this season against Whitehaven, Bartlett, Germantown. I mean, this isn't an easy schedule. These are tough games you are having to
this
play.
is a tough region down here in West Tennessee. I think you hit Middle Tennessee, you go East Tennessee. I think those regions are more one-team regions. And down here, it's anybody's region. I mean, we're picking each other off like the SEC down here. So
I was about to say, I heard somebody describe this region as the SEC of
I think
West Tennessee.
I think John Varlas might have said
It
that.
probably was.
I think it was John. But
Varlas
yeah,
does a great job.
you get up there, it's you got Maryville, their deal. You got Oakland down in their deal, and like Ravenwood and Nashville. I mean, and then down here, it's anybody's game.
Yeah. How much does the coaching staff, maybe this week, maybe the last couple of weeks, how much are you kind of looking at what other teams are doing in terms of trying to figure out maybe who will we play in the playoffs first round, or is it kind of we're not worried about that, we're worried about this week, and once Friday night at 10 o'clock, then we'll worry about who's
Friday
next on the
night at
schedule.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And Friday night 10 o'clock, that's when you're going to know right then. Everybody's going to be on the same page for that night, and everybody's going to start preparing right then and there.
Yeah. So no look aheads or anything. That's the way you gotta.
Even though I think you kind of know.
I think you kind of
know
yeah.
where you're, how it's going to end up, because everybody's you've seen schedules, but really, when the final horn sounds tonight, that's when it's really going to. Start playoff time.
Definitely.
Hey, Brian, just wanted to jump in. Owen, you have a message, good sir.
Oh, wow.
It says, tell Owen, Coach Tommy said, what's up, and he is proud of you.
How about that?
Thank you, Coach Thomas. Also, shout out Coach Keith Gibbs, linebackers coach.
How about that? Bunch of shout outs.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about Owen. You've been around him for a while now. What is he, kind of senior night, reflect on his time as a Mustang?
Oh wow, it's been a really good time. I'm so glad I was able to get the chance to coach him as a freshman, and then be around him for these past 3 years as a varsity football player. A hard nosed, old school type football player. A kid you love to have on your football team. Leader, vocal. if you need something, he's the one to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're a team captain, right?
Yes, sir.
How was that? I mean, getting named team captain, that's huge.
Yeah, it was a big deal to me. And the other captains. I just, for some reason, it felt like it was, I kind of felt like I was meant to be. Like I feel like I have a pretty big leadership role, and I take a lot of pride in that.
And where does that come from? I mean, where does that kind of lead? Because he's now described you as a leader. You've described yourself as where does that kind of lead? As kind of a young guy, I mean, a lot of guys kind of struggle with finding that voice. Yeah. Where does that come from?
I honestly don't know. It's just when especially on a football field, it's like
it's just that switch click.
It's
flips
just
on.
I become like, I guess my dad's a coach, so it might be that coach in me.
Helps,
So.
Yeah. Hey Brian, I can help you out. He named all Hall of Famers.
Keekly,
Keekly and Ray Lewis and Urlacher. I mean, no current players right now.
Yeah.
He went to nothing but vocal, old school, hard nosed Hall of Famers. That's probably where it comes from.
That's a good observation because when he was listing off those guys, I was like,
nobody from no Will Andersons, none of that. He went straight old school. And Keekly was the one that got me. That's a former defensive MVP right there.
Yeah, it sure is. No, so it's definitely got to be those guys you learn from. All right, what's going to happen tonight?
It's football.
Yeah.
You can't really tell, but I'm very confident in our team. We've had a really good week of preparation, and we trust each other, and so we're just gonna go out there and get after it. And whatever the scoreboard says, the scoreboard says.
Yeah. Are you a one-sport athlete, dual-sport athlete? What are you?
I play baseball as well.
Okay, really?
Yes,
so talk to me. What position? Tell me a little bit about your baseball skills. John loves baseball.
Yeah.
He played baseball.
I'm on the roster. It says U because they pretty much can put me anywhere. Mainly in the outfield though,
sure.
and I pitch.
Yeah. Okay. So what kind of pitches do we throw?
Fastball, sometimes slider, sometimes curveball, depending on the day.
It.
And if the changeup wants to work, I'll throw that. But
feels like y'all have, and I guess it's common. It feels like y'all have several dual sport football and baseball players on the football team. I mean, Chandler plays both. His brother plays both. Yep. You play both. How is being you always hear coaches saying we love dual sport athletes. We love guys that are playing multiple sports. How much has that helped you? And has it has anything kind of benefited one and the other? Learning things from one that kind of has helped the other.
They're two completely different sports.
Yeah.
Football, you can take your anger out next play if you want to, and then baseball, you kind of just gotta. And so I kind of mix them together, like with my, how I'm feeling on the field. Like if I strike out, I know I gotta.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, calm down.
Can't go hit somebody.
And if I get held and they get a first down, I can't just. I gotta calm myself down. But
right.
I've always played multiple sports, and so it's just nothing new to me, and I enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, I love it. So what is your favorite sport? Football or
football? 100%. Yeah. Shout out Coach Mack though. Still love you.
Are you missing class right now?
I am.
What class are we missing?
Environmental science. We're actually having a lab today, but she said I'd be okay.
All right, I love it. I love it. That's a question I think John misses on. I mean, we have all these players in here. Middle of the day. I mean, what class are you missing?
Yeah.
I'm always curious. Do you have a favorite class?
I do. Economics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your economics teacher?
Coach Quinn. He's Houston High School's very own bowling coach.
I love that. I love Mr.
One of the
Quinn.
funniest guys I know.
He is fantastic. His mother-in-law actually lives next door to me, so I see him a lot and his two lovely children. But all right, well, good luck, fellas. I think I'm gonna just go out and say it. Big win tonight. We're gonna get it done. Houston's gonna win, and that I guess secures home field for the playoffs.
Sir.
We'll take it right. We'll take the home field. Home field would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be great. We'll put the white unis
That's
up
right.
for the year
It'd
and
be fantastic.
It'd be amazing.
Go out there in that black, all black.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, thank both of y'all for coming in. Good luck, Owen, tonight and in the future. And I guess we'll be talking with you again next week, Coach.
We'll see you next week. We're ready to go. And let's not forget about old Fox, the best trainer out there in the world.
Oh, man.
Shout out Fox.
Yeah, you can't forget. How long has he been around? I mean, he's been there forever.
Oh, I think Fox has been around in the game for, I think he told me the other day, 67 years old. So
67 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it feels like. Well,
wow.
Let's go ahead and get to a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk some basketball with J-Ham. That's next on Happy Hour.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Need good food fast? You need 901 Eats to Go in Bartlett. Meat in 2 sides. Chicken wings and tenders, cheeseburger, Philly cheesesteak, even catfish, plus sides and drinks. 901 Eats to Go has everything you want when you want it at prices you can afford. Call 901-417-8232. Pick up, DoorDash, Uber Eats, or online at 901eats.com. That's Eats with a Z. Delicious and convenient. 901 Eats to Go. 8135 Kirby Wooden Road in Bartlett. Good food fast.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313. Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
What a great time of year. Football, basketball, baseball, golf, and home sales. Home sales? This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensworth Realtors. And why did I throw in home sales at this time of year? Because I have sold homes on the day before Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Day. Whether it's someone transferring in through a relocation network or someone just starting their home search, homes sell all year long, just like my golf game being bad, all year long. I may be called Mr. Three-Putt, but at least I'm consistent. If you or someone you know is thinking of selling, make sure and talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure I'm one of them. Find out how my highly successful strategic marketing program can get the winning score you need. Call me and find out why people often say when you want the job done, oh, Shell done. 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. Go for that goal and call me. Shell Dunn at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Well, no Johnny Radio today. He's out. Had something come up. Hopefully he's back on Monday. But Bryant Dacus, Darian Newsom, in for him. We're with you for the next, hour and a half to wrap up the Friday edition of Happy Hour. But as always, J-Ham in the building to talk a little bit of everything. But I want to talk a whole lot of basketball because I'm excited. NBA is up and running. I've been watching a ton of NBA basketball. Monday, college basketball starts. Yeah. Very excited for that. So I want to get to a lot of NBA and college basketball. But before we do that, I do want to touch on the NFL for a second because last night that Jets and Texans game was crazy. I mean, I heard all day everybody saying, how in the world are the Jets favored? And then they go out there and they get the win. They win it fairly easily. Second half, they come out, they play great. The catch by Garrett Wilson in the back of the end zone, the OBJ-like catch was incredible.
None of this.
You didn't see any of the game. Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
I saw none of this.
Are you not a Prime Video subscriber? Is that the issue?
I love Amazon Prime for more than Prime Video.
Well,
like many others. But
yes.
The Jets have made my banned from TV list.
I understand that.
We get to this stage of the season and it's like, you slow for this long? I don't want to see you after a while.
Well, that's a good point. I guess it was 2 years ago now when it was like Sengun's first year with the Rockets, maybe Jalen Green's first year with the Rockets, or maybe second year for the Rockets. The year they were terrible.
Right.
And our old buddy Jay Morgan, he put me on a Rockets fan. Every night I'd be texting him like, man, this Sengun fella can play.
He's a basketball head. So
and he was like, you're not allowed to play
detailed stuff.
Yeah, he was like, you're not allowed to watch it anymore. I was like, why not? He was like, they do not play good basketball.
And see, if a basketball head has to put that sanction down, it's like, okay, yeah, that's true.
That's why I listened to it. I was like, you know what? You're right. It's not great basketball. They're fun to watch.
He don't even want you to even be influenced by
it. Exactly. He's like, if you're gonna watch basketball, don't watch them. I was like,
shout out to Jay Morgan.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Good guy. But speaking of basketball, the Grizzlies, they get the win last night against Milwaukee. Okay, please.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, all right. Let's talk Aaron Rodgers.
My guy, shout out to my guy, Bo Schefter. He's the captain of reviews for the 22, youtube.com/the word cultured, the number 1 with the S on it. We're the cultured ones. Bo posted a stat yesterday. He said December 12, 2021 was the last time Aaron Rodgers threw for 300 yards.
Whoa.
Longest streak in NFL.
Longest streak in NFL. 31 games now after that, because he only threw for 2+ last night.
That's insane.
Almost 3 full years. I was like, yo.
That's hard to believe.
I started thinking about stuff that was going on at that time when he threw the 300 games. I was like, yo, was Ben Simmons still active? He wasn't. That was the son. He went. Things went south for him earlier that spring. Roman Reigns was still the Universal Champion at that time. I was just trying to think of other stuff.
What was going on in the world? That's crazy.
See, when Aaron Rodgers last threw for 300, but that was, and then, but it looked like he threw a few strikes last night. I hadn't seen it in the highlights. I just saw his numbers. And
first half, he's
3
terrible.
touchdowns, the whole deal.
Second half, he was pretty good. He even said after post-game, he said, I don't think I could have played worse in the first half.
There you go. See, he's good enough to still have that in him.
Sure, yeah.
But what we knew, oh, that's long done.
Oh yeah, no. It's definitely, he's on the decline. That's for sure. And it's tough to watch. I'll be completely honest. As a guy that loves watching Aaron Rodgers play,
he was one of my favorites.
Oh man, he was
one of my favorites for this reason. You knew that the fundamentals and all of that stuff was there, but he was so arrogant to the point where he knew he didn't need it, but he still could get by with him. 100%. Such as the Hail Mary in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you just this cold, huh?
Yeah. So I got a question for both of y'all. Is Aaron Rodgers that great that you both have forgotten he's 40 and has torn his Achilles?
Yeah.
Like, that's why he's bad, y'all.
I think I got to agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That's why he's
That's
bad.
why he that bad.
Yeah.
Old age and injuries.
Age and injuries.
They don't go together very well.
And he's arrogant. He's arrogant.
He is. He loses the room really quickly. He does.
Right. Yeah. He's arrogant Aaron. It's the difference between that 12 and the 12 that was in Foxborough for so long.
Oh yeah, no, there's a big difference, but that's okay. They're still both great in their own great ways. So the Grizzlies, they got the win last night.
Look good.
I know you are on social media. You see what everyone says on social media. It's kind of been wild the last couple of days.
They got to relax.
Really, since the season started.
They got to relax.
They got to.
I understand what you're saying. Here's my thing. When you hammering this down on Taylor Jenkins, how do y'all know that this is not an edict from upstairs?
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
I'm not saying that it is, but it's like, let's maintain these minutes a little bit early.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Let's try to spoon feed it. We don't have to have too many guys going over 30, 35. We got enough bodies to where we can play and kind of formulate, get guys some reps. Because we never know when somebody's going to need to step up.
Sure.
One of the main things I've been seeing that's funny is the assassination of Jake LaRavia.
Yeah, Jake.
But anytime I've watched games, Jake is out there doing ski mask work.
Sure.
He's diving on the floor for 50-50 balls. He's fighting for rebounds. He's in the mix for stuff. But it's like, why do y'all hate this dude?
Yeah.
He's that. I mean, I appreciate. I'm not saying he's great or what, but it's like those dudes you need to make winning plays.
Right,
But I think it's a lot of anxiety within the fan base right now.
I think so. But it just, it doesn't really make sense to me because before the season starts, I hear everybody saying, you got this new offense and it's going to take time and all this stuff. I hear everybody make these, I don't even want to call them excuses, but like talk about how, it might be a weird start to the season. Ball goes in the air and then it's, this team's terrible. What's going on? Rotations are an issue. They're not playing defense. And it's like,
Well, the rotation thing is funny because it's like any fan base, especially with a team that's competitive, they're going to feel like they have some form of a death lineup that they can put in. It's like, hey, but like 2 or 3 of those league-wide. Let's get serious. It's only a couple of those. And even with those couple of those, it's a combination of dudes who you might not even think would be a part of it.
Right.
But it's just the chemistry and fit that goes with it. And so we don't have that here. And I made a statement on Facebook the other day. I don't know if you saw this or not, Noose, but I'm like, let's keep it real. the championship window really
closed where
last year. Now, when I
you had a lot of pushback too.
Now when I say that, I'm like, I'm not saying that it can't be. Windows can be reopened.
Yeah.
It's not like you, once you slam it shut, it's locked, and that's it. No, windows can be. Denver is an example of a window reopening.
Yeah.
Dallas with Dirk is an example of a window reopening.
Sure.
Just within a 5-year span or whatnot. Golden State's window closed and reopened right back up, and they went right back and won another one. So it was just, you're not ready to win sometimes.
Yeah.
And right now, this crew is not ready to do that. We got a great, I put it to you like this. It's different in this sense, but I'm going to say this.
Okay.
The Zach Edey thing reminds me of Vasheem Thabit in this sense only. It's the slower reaction and development of it, but with Zach, I'm not worried about it because Zach is skilled. He has a decent basketball IQ. He's skilled. With Thabit, the IQ wasn't necessarily there, and he wasn't skilled. It was all athleticism. So it's like, if your timing is late on everything and as athletic as you are, you're just not fit for the role. With Zach, it's going to probably be like his college development. Hopefully not as slow, but we'll get through this year. You'll probably start to see those flashes come along as we move through the year. By the end of the year, he'll probably establish himself. If not early, start next year, whatever. I had to temper my expectations on him. Like, you can't really rush him because Matt Painter couldn't rush him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had to take your time with him. But we had a godsend in the breath of fresh air with Jay Huff.
Oh, man.
Skilled dude, high IQ dude. He comes from a high IQ program with Tony Bennett in Virginia. He's won. He's been on a national championship team, so he's been around winning. He's just playing winning basketball. He's doing all the stuff that we were looking for with a big man. He's pretty much giving us. He can stretch the floor. He can defend. He can rebound. And he's a smart dude.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's going to take that time. Him and Triple, get complimenting each other well.
Right.
We have an issue on the wings. We got some good dudes. We hadn't even gotten with Vince and Gigi yet, but Scotty and Jalen are playing so well.
Really well.
There's no fear, especially with Jalen just coming straight
in. There you
in.
go. That's what I was waiting on, especially
with Jalen just coming straight. It's like you expect a few bumps, and it's like, this dude ain't scared of
it almost seems like someone has talked to him and said, you have a job to do. You got a job to do. And he's damn hell bent on doing their job.
Absolutely. And his game kind of reminds me of Anthony Simons in Portland.
Okay.
And they kind of have a similar approach.
Sure, yeah.
I got a job to do.
He is all business. I like him. I like him.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned him, because it's like I see a lot of the same qualities with the same player, to where if it happens here or if it's elsewhere, that dude's going to be a starter in this league.
Oh, yeah.
Real soon.
Well, I think for Wells, I want to get back to Edey in a second, but I think for Wells, because I think, you make a good point, because you see a lot of dudes, especially guys that get drafted in the second round, they come in, I don't think anybody really had expectations for him. Maybe he didn't have expectations. And you come out first game, he's the first guy off the bench. A lot of times you'll see guys in that position, maybe they'll get the ball, they'll want to swing it.
He was not wide-eyed about it.
Not at all. I mean, he gets the ball first time, he's open, he takes the shot. And I love that about him. You don't see that
and going back to that first game in Utah, I made a point about this on Facebook. I like that Taylor left them in there for those stretches. Let them eat. Let them get those reps. This is the only way you're going to get that experience, you know? And I'm also looking at it like these dudes got 6 games in 8 days.
That's right.
And so it's like, why are we want to push them for 35?
Right.
I'm looking over at the Minnesota Timberwolves fan base, and they're going absolutely insane because they're like, Ed shouldn't be playing 39 minutes right now.
And Dillingham should be playing at least 2 minutes a game.
Right, but it's one of those where whether it's Taylor Jenkins, whether it's coming from upstairs with Kleiman and whatnot.
Sure.
Once you basically lose your entire roster over a course of a season with suspensions, with injuries, and you're finding other guys that can play along that way. Then you go into that next season, you're probably going to tiptoe a little bit as far as, distributing the minutes and whatnot. And then you're also trying to establish chemistry.
Right.
This is why the rotations aren't what people want them to be yet. How are you going to establish a solid rotation when these dudes don't even have the chemistry built yet?
Yeah.
They haven't played together that long
Yeah.
yet. Preseason is one thing, training camp, whatnot, but live action, night to night. You know, it's just like we say in the NFL, it's a week-to-week league. The NBA sometimes can be a night-to-night league,
for sure.
depending on who your matchup is. And that's where we're at. We're kind of back in the middle. We're right in the middle of the road, but we're not ready to win yet. It's cool. We can be there by May.
Sure.
Not saying that this going to be there, because, see, one thing about that as well, that they didn't want to talk to me about this part on the Post News, was that you can't skip steps. I know, y'all saying, well, we got this. Y'all, all the aesthetics look great. That don't mean that the window is open. That don't mean that we're ready to win right now. Yeah. That's all it is. I'm just a realist about it.
But Jay, isn't that scary talk, though, seeing how we're in year 6?
I thought about that.
Shouldn't we be afraid if you're talking like that?
Yeah, you should. You know why? Because the window was already razor thin to begin with, as far as being open. And I thought about that from that standpoint. I'm like, it's really been 5 years, going into 6 years.
Going into 6,
since the bubble. And think about, I thought about something that happened in the bubble, because remember the Grizz was playing great before stuff shut down. And then when they got in the bubble, we saw that rust. And shout out to my guy Trav, youtube.com/at94 feet of life. Trav said it then when we were in the bubble. When they started getting hit back in the bubble, he said, they targeted now. They the hunted. They not necessarily be able to move as the hunters like they was, because now it's like people know they that good. And this was 5 years ago when he said that. So just, I was thinking about that too. Like, it's really been that long. But it's scary to think about it, because it's like, you still got a core. Because in the bubble, we didn't have Desmond Bain. He was still at TCU. So I was a rookie. Tripp was a sophomore. And, and there's a few faces that have moved on since then, and now you're bringing in new ones. It's just a different league, especially now also with the way the financial structure is set up. First apron, second apron. We might be saying bye-bye to dynasties.
That's true.
It might be, if you don't get this done within the 2 to 3 year window, we not totally blowing up, but we gonna shuffle the deck.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah, I want to go back to Zach Edey, because I liked what you said about him. Because I'll be completely honest, I did not like the pick when it was made. I was not a Zach Edey guy when they drafted him. Darian was with me when the draft was happening, the day of the draft, and he was like, I think the Grizzlies might take Zach Edey, and I was like, no way they're going to take Zach Edey.
I wholeheartedly wanted them to,
and I did not. And so I've been skeptical, but I like to be a realist. I like to be level-headed about things, and so I'm not sitting here going, I was right, he's terrible. Because, like you said, I remember when IMG was here, however long ago, playing against Kennedy Chandler and Briarcrest. He was on that team. I didn't even know he was out there. I go back in my mind, even when he was at Purdue, and people are like, yeah, he was on that IMG team. I don't remember it. They had stars out there, but I don't remember people being like, oh, man, that's Zach Edey.
Oh, so Edey was on their team.
Edey was on IMG, but nobody was sitting there. I think Jaden Springer was on that team, and so everyone was like, oh, that's Jaden Springer. He's going, and he's going to Tennessee. Nobody was like, Zach Edey, he's going to Purdue. He's going to be the 2-time player of the year.
This is where I go back to Matt Painter and the job that they did development.
Exactly, because he came in as like a 3-star, sat on the bench, sat behind.
I didn't like him,
great big man.
His first 3 years, I didn't really care for him as a player.
Right.
I really didn't turn over that leaf on him until I saw him in Maui last year. When I think they were playing, I think that's where they played Tennessee the first time.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually the game before. There was a semi. I think they played Tennessee in the final.
Yeah.
But the game, when I was watching, I'm like, okay, the big man has been in the lab.
Yeah. And Jay Morgan had the same reaction as you did, because I remember his junior year, and me and Jay were up here one day watching Purdue, and he's like, this guy's just big. That's all he is.
I was like, he's just big.
And then that senior year, he was like, oh, he's improved.
I didn't want to eviscerate the kid, but it's like, it's not really. I kind of looked at him in a similar light that I looked at Taco Fall, except he was more skilled than Taco.
Exactly.
You scared me. You done brought up Taco Fall and Hasheem Thabeet today. Oh my God.
But which to beats on the bottom rung of that
That's
one.
right.
You know? I actually can make something work with Taco. I saw Taco dunk on a dude so hard the other day.
Oh, man,
I don't know, why did this
saw
dude
that.
even jump? This dude was like 6'2".
Yeah.
And he actually tried to jump with Taco. Taco just looked at him like, son, what is your problem?
Yeah, Taco's over in like the Philippines or something playing basketball.
Right, that's where it was, over in the Philippines.
Jeez.
But it was just with Zach. It's just we got to be patient.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Jay Huff allows that patience to. Okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
We can kind of go along with it, especially if we can keep Tripp healthy. If Tripp can stay on the floor, keep Jay. We're gonna need another body.
Definitely.
You're gonna need another body. Going back to that draft, honestly, before all of that went in, I was like, yo, we need Donovan Klingler. Because he'll be mobile enough coming in to stay within the flow of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's still on the learning curve as well.
Sure.
Just in the same way. Zach's gonna be fine though, because the personnel around him can really fit. Because it's like, okay, once you get that established on the block, you can't leave 22.
No.
You can't. You don't want to leave 12 because 12 will burn you inside and outside. Tripp can do the same thing. Now you got other guards who can also play off the bounce. Number one, Scotty Jr.
Yeah, man,
he reminds me of a shorter version of his father.
Oh yeah.
Even especially on the defensive end. When he gets low, he slides his feet, all the base technical stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just there. So it's a lot to me to be excited about. And I told John this yesterday when I was leaving this house. I said, why you going off about all this other stuff? Just want you to remember that 2 years ago when this team set a franchise record of 56 wins, they started out 9-10.
It's a good point. I completely forgot about that.
He said, for real?
For real?
Hey guys,
relax.
while we're on, I got a
can
quick
completely
comparison
forgot
for you
about
guys.
that.
Donovan Klingen so far in the season is averaging 4.8 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 1.8 blocks. Edie, on the other hand, 9 points a game, 5 rebounds, and how many blocks? I don't see the blocks on here. He averages half a steal. Doesn't show. Oh, there it is. 0.3 blocks per game.
What's Zach averaging minutes wise?
Right now, Zach is at 17.7 and Klingen at 12.6.
Oh wow.
They're playing like a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
It's like for a quarter and a half of basketball, I take 9.
Yeah, I'll take
9 points, 5 boards. Well, that's cool because as we move along, he'll get to the 20s and we'll 28, 30, and he'll shape himself out.
Yeah.
But once
I thought he looked good last night. He played well.
I thought he was great on the defensive end in particular. I'm like, that's really where it's going to be super key for him because we can take care of him on the offense.
Sure, yeah.
We
got
can
plenty
feed
of
him the rock.
options.
Yeah, we got plenty of options that can get him the rock. But it's just one of those where it's like, Memphis, the city, citizens of Grizz Nation. Relax, y'all.
Relax. Going back to Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. Relax.
And when he said that, the year he said that, they actually went to their
He meant it
NFC
when he said it.
championship.
Yeah, he meant it.
Yeah, he meant it. That's when they was like 1-2 or whatever. And that's the funny part about that is just how my historian brain works. The year he said that, they went to the NFC championship game and they lost to Seattle where they forced 5 turnovers and they still lost.
Holy cow.
That's how painful it
That's
was.
crazy. Yeah. So just relax. Just relax. Well, we need to get to a break. I want to talk more NBA. I want to get to the Lakers. They've been fun to watch this year. But I also want to talk some college basketball. That gets kicked off on Monday. So we'll get to all of that on the other side. You're listening to Happy Hour.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa set. It's happening right now. You can save thousands on in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. You know those cold plunges? You can get one for yourself starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17,499. Plus, Family Leisure has set up special financing just for this event. Have you been sitting on the fence about an above-ground pool? Get off that fence and get to Family Leisure to take advantage of huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. And if you need some patio furniture, it's all priced to move out now. It's not too late to have some summer fun, courtesy of Family Leisure. But you better hurry up. The world's biggest spa sale might go on forever. Family Leisure. Whitten
file taxes or are in debt to the IRS? This is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-357-6499. 800-357-6499. 800-357-6499.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Football season is here. Do you have your picks in on Sleeper? Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and you could win up to 100 times your money. For new users, Sleeper will even match your first deposit with up to $100 credit to your account. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code MONDAY for a credit up to $100 match on your first deposit. That's code MONDAY. Must be 18 years in most states and in state where it is legal. Promo code and other restrictions apply. Visit Sleeper.com. Please wager responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-426-2537 for help. Sponsored by Sleeper, a Blitz product.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Sonic Radio.
Welcome back into Happy Hour. Bryant and Darian with you. J-Ham with us like he is every single Friday. We talked a lot of Grizzlies in the last segment. Very quickly, I want to talk about the Lakers, and then I want to get some college basketball. What have you thought of the job J.J. Redick has done?
Fantastic.
I've really enjoyed watching him coach.
And I hadn't said a word about it because while people were clowning him, I'm like, I don't know what y'all been paying attention to, but I've been watching that dude since he was at Duke, and I've been listening to his podcast. In basketball-wise, from a basketball, strategic basketball standpoint, there was no basketball podcast that was on his level.
No.
He was talking straight gaming. I mean, X's, O's, all of it. And he had the stories and all of that that come with it, too. Just a great basketball mind in general.
Yeah.
And he has the respect of his players, you know, just coming in through the door. And they know that he knows his stuff. He's great making, you know, his adjustments and the whole deal, and it's just going a good deal. I was laughing because Barrett Davis was one of the loudest ones who was, you know, highly offensive about, you know, going at him, but then he was one of the quickest ones to also offer his praise last week. He was like, yo, he's doing a great job, you know, and it's just, you know, good looks. You know, I like that for. I know it's the Lakers, so ultimately, you know, the curtain gonna fall.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. You know, it is what it is.
They're gonna have injuries.
I mean, but stuff. Even with that, you know, the way he handling the Bronny situation, all of that, it's just like, okay, they're good.
Oh
you know, they're gonna be straight.
He's done a really, really good job. Monday, college basketball starts. I'm super excited about it. I believe we have 116 D1 versus D1 games.
Is this
on
an
Monday.
all-day thing?
Yeah, I think there's a game at 11, and then after that, we don't have the 24-hour thing.
I missed
anymore.
that. That's what I was going with. I was like, well, they need to bring back the marathon.
I was in high school when they were doing that, and I remember I would go, like, when I had study hall, I would go into the library and, like, log on to one of the computers and get on, like, ESPN and just, like, watch it on the computer. I remember, like, one time the librarian came in and was like, what are you doing? And I was like,
on this marathon, you need to be on it too.
Watching Manhattan versus USC Upstate right now. What do you mean? He was like, these computers are for schoolwork only. I was like, well, I mean, you know.
Shout out to the Manhattan Jaspers.
I love Manhattan. But Monday, Tigers start their season. It'll be Tigers versus Tigers, Mizzou versus Memphis. I know you and John have talked about kind of what this offseason has been for Memphis. But we finally kind of get to, basketball.
I told my guys at 94 Feet of Life, I don't know. When it comes to Tiger basketball this year, man, I know what y'all know, man. I have removed myself from it. It's crazy. I can't really explain.
He's probably smart.
Throw the ball up. Let's just put the ball there.
I'm ready for basketball.
Right. All the rest of it is just, I'm not here.
Yeah.
The violations and allegations and all this sort of, I don't
People
care.
unhappy.
Yeah, I don't
leaving
care.
The team,
I'm trying
back.
to see how fast y'all can get Cooper Flag on the schedule, man. If anything, but it's
him far away.
I'm looking forward to it from that standpoint. What is this for you, for Penny? What, year 7?
Year 7, right? Yeah, I believe so.
And people like, well, he's a horrible coach. Yeah, I'm like, y'all stop. Horrible coaches don't even make the NCAA tournament, okay? Let's just, let's put things in proper context. He's probably not the ideal coach that's fitting your fantasy. I understand that. And a lot of this that y'all ain't going to want to hear, but he's learning on the fly.
Exactly.
He's been doing that since day one, not just at that level, but when he was at the middle school level and high school level as well. It's a different ball game.
Yeah.
And he's learning through experience. And he's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those deals where anytime I've been embroiled in conversations about Tiger basketball this summer, over really the last year, it's like, y'all are not who y'all want to believe y'all are, okay? Y'all are not this top-tier program that y'all really... Look, anytime y'all been good, it's come with sanctions.
Well, yeah.
It's just call it for what it is.
Yeah.
Dana Kirk went to jail when y'all were this good, okay? I mean, he literally went to jail. Not like overnight. He's had some time. John Calipari, same thing. It's like, okay, so if we going to do this, we kind of like the University of Miami with football. We got to go about it in a rogue fashion and just own it.
Got to get dirty.
Right, but...
Are you saying go Catholics versus convicts? Like just go all in?
Sure. And the fun part about the Catholics and convicts is that the Catholic side... No, the convict side actually had more Catholics.
That's crazy.
When they did the breakdown, it was like Miami actually had more Catholics on the roster than Notre Dame had that year.
Weird how that works out. Jay, before we run out of time, I know you enjoy women's basketball, and I'm really excited because Monday, very interesting, we have on ESPN a doubleheader of women's college basketball starting at, I believe, 11 a.m., so... Monday at 11, it's Ole Miss and USC. So
from Paris. From Paris.
Both those games in Paris. I think this is really cool. Kind of continues to shine that spotlight on women's basketball.
I'm looking forward. I said this on our college basketball preview show. You can find it at youtube.com/94 Feet of Life. I'm more excited about women's basketball this year.
Yeah.
Not saying that I'm not excited about the men's game in general, but just not even just the college game. The WNBA, when they roll back around, I'm excited for them too.
Definitely.
Just the growth that they had. And now we're getting, you putting Juju Watkins, who's arguably the best player in America this year. You'll get to see Paige Buchers, arguably one of the best players in America. Not arguably, one of the best players in America this year. Dawn and her crew, great team.
Yep.
Artie Crooks at Iowa State. I can go around. Hannah Hidalgo at Notre Dame. It's a bunch of names where it's like, yo, she's one of those.
Yeah.
And to have them finally get their stage, it's cool. You're going to have your detractors of people who are there to, pretty much troll it and bash it. And it's like, hey, man, us people that like basketball, we like basketball.
Yeah.
It could be 10 and under girls. I'm watching. If they're competitive, they doing their thing, I'm going to watch and enjoy. Just let them do their thing. And so to see the ladies get that growth, and then Juju's got her own shoe already.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
NIL with Gatorade as well.
Yeah, NIL with Gatorade. She's Nike. And this is like, this is just a humble girl from Los Angeles.
That's right.
And it's cool because I'm looking at what Flage's been doing. Flage go to practice, then she'll leave practice, go perform.
Yeah.
Go rap, go perform a show, back in time for class, the whole cycle again, and she's enjoying it. And then record an hour podcast after that. Then she's enjoying every bit of it. So I'm having fun watching the ladies get that stage and also take full advantage of the opportunities that they get. And it's like, yo, they can hoop. Let them hoop, you know?
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got to get out of here. Jay, plug away. Well, where can people find you? What you got coming up?
YouTube.com/@94feetoflife. YouTube.com/@culture once. That's views from the 22. Fun football weekend for us. I think my guy Mo Schefter is going to join us. He hadn't been on all season, so he's going to come on at some point during the season. Hopefully this weekend we get him Sunday. If not for he normally don't come out for college, but he'll come out for the NFL.
Absolutely. Well, it should be a fun weekend. A little bit of everything going on. Jay, we'll talk to you again next Friday.
Absolutely.
As always, thanks for joining us. Let's get to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some picks and get some picks. Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports, he's going to join us. A lot of good games on the slate this weekend. So let's get to a break. When we come back, we're talking picks.
Jenkins Floors and More invite you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Goodman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's sea to shining sea, and water damage as far as the eye can see. It's freshly mown grass, and a fence that was freshly vandalized by a pack of unruly teens. It's also round-the-clock protection when you run your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Progressive.com. Progressive is the future.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
Pay equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show. Right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
56, WHBQ Memphis and W253 DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio on Sports 56. Now, back to your host, John Harding.
Welcome back into Happy Hour. No John today. Hopefully he's back on Monday. Bryant and Darian with you as we got about an hour left in the show. We're about to get some picks from Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports. I know always a good time getting picks from him. I want to clarify something. We were talking with Jay Ham. Dave Woloshin, voice of the Tigers, texts me, says that Dana Kirk actually went to jail for tax reasons. It was not... had nothing to do with the NCAA. So a little clarification there, a little before my time, so I wasn't 100% clear. But hey, nonetheless, had a good time with Jay Ham. Always love him coming on Fridays. But we need to go ahead and talk some wagering, get some picks from our buddy Lee Sterling. He joins us now from Paramount Sports. Lee, thanks so much for joining us. How you doing today?
I'm good. I can't complain. Would like to have seen a few more trick-or-treaters last night, but didn't happy, so I had to eat about 2.5 pounds of candy and sweat out the Jets game last night.
Well, hey, I mean, a lot worse ways you could spend your Thursday night. I'll tell you this. I was with my girlfriend last night, and we were handing out candy at her house, and I guess she did not think we were going to get a lot of trick-or-treaters, and so I got to her house probably about 7:30 or so, and she was like, yeah, we've gotten a lot of trick-or-treaters. I've just been stuffing my hand in the bag of candy and just giving them a whole handful of candy. So we ran out of candy.
Oh, I had to do that one thing. You got to make the trip to the grocery store.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we just turned off all the lights and left the house. I mean, we didn't worry about more candy.
You acted like you were the Grinch on the block, and you turned out the lights and hid, right?
That's right. Well, we went and we took a walk. She was like, let's just go walk around the neighborhood and see what everyone else is doing. And so we're walking. She's complaining, all these houses have their lights on and aren't giving out candy. Well, what about your house? Your lights are off. You're not giving out any candy. So.
I've been there before.
But it was fun nonetheless. Crazy that we're already in November. I mean, it feels like just last week we were talking first week of games with you.
I know.
Now we're here down the home stretch.
Yeah, we are. And we'll get the college football ratings. We'll get them coming up this day. What if they do it on a Tuesday, right?
That's right. Yeah.
They always do it on the deadest day of the year.
That's right.
Except for the elections, it just so happens.
Oh yeah, I guess that is going on.
But we won't know anything by that time anyway.
That's
so we'll end up watching it. So I love these prediction shows, like in September, of how it's going to play out. The 12 teams, like really?
Yeah.
Wait at least till November.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Giving them out in August and September, please. Yeah. Just wait some. I'm curious for you, Lee, because, I hear so many people talk about, when they're picking games, when they're trying to make their bets on these college games that, it's hard early in the season because you don't know what it is. I hear some people say that's harder early in the season to handicap these games. It gets easier late in the season. But then I hear other people on the flip side saying it gets harder later in the season because these are all conference games and it's good teams versus good teams. What is it like for you?
It's harder later in the season because of the variables like weather come into play and also more injuries. I mean, early in the season, it seems like you have a better handle on who's playing, but I mean, there's a bunch of games this week. We don't know if the quarterback's going to even play.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Whereas early in the season, you usually have a pretty good idea. They can not try to tell you, but it's going to leak out somewhere that he at least practiced or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get to some of these games over the weekend. I want to start with this, a team that I've had so much fun watching all season long. I think a lot of people have. I've kind of deemed them as America's team this year. Vanderbilt, they take on Auburn this weekend, and kind of a little surprised that Auburn, about a 6-point favorite. That line's been moving a little bit. Auburn's favored in this game. What do you think about this one?
So I don't think you're the only person who's shocked at this line. If Vanderbilt doesn't have that B on the side of their helmets, they have, let's say they're Kentucky or something, I think this line's like 2.5, 3. So, it's been 40 years, really, since I think they had back-to-back years where they went to a bowl, something like that. I mean, some crazy stat. So it's going to be tough until people finally recognize this is a good team. And how about this? Diego Pavia, he beat him last year. A lot of people forget this when he was at New Mexico State. Not only did he win with a much lesser talented team, he brings over his offensive coordinator and his head coach for both at Vandy. So I think as far as the game planning, they have a huge advantage here. And their defense isn't real talented, but their offense is good enough. I think they win the game outright, 26-23.
I love it.
I mean, what's Auburn done? 2 halves of football. 1 half of football last week. That's it.
Yeah. It's a good point because they did not look good in that first half against Kentucky. Came out in the second half, played much better. A game that I know a lot of people here locally in Memphis are going to have their eyes on, 2 SEC teams that are very close to the city, Ole Miss and Arkansas. I've got plenty of friends that went to both schools. Right now, Ole Miss, a 7-point favorite against Arkansas. Arkansas had the big win last week against Mississippi State. On the other side, Ole Miss won against Oklahoma, but I don't know how many people came away from that game super impressed with Lane Kiffin and that team on Saturday. But right now, Ole Miss, a 7-point favorite. What do you think about this game?
Well, I'm watching Ole Miss, and defensively, I see a lot of guys jogging around. When you hire a bunch of guys, these guys, when you get NIL money, a lot of these guys from Mississippi, they're practically mercenaries, and they're all out for themselves. And I think it shows. And then on offense, what's Lane done?
Yeah.
I mean, do you see any creative play calling?
No.
Do you see any new plays or any trick plays? I don't. You know, that are working. So I'm just not buying that. I think Arkansas can play with teams of this caliber. Can they play with a Georgia? No. They're just going to get run over. Just too much of a talent difference. But, you know, with Green back, and it looked like he was healthy last week, wasn't hobbling around. And just think that last year's lousy Arkansas team only lost 27-20 at Ole Miss. And Arkansas has actually covered 10 of the last 11 times this game. I like this freshman, Braylon Russell. I mean, filling in nicely last week. 175 yards on 16 carries. I like Arkansas outright here by touchdown, 31-24. Wrong team favorite.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yep. What have you thought about Arkansas this year? Because you mentioned, I mean, really, really bad last year. But you know, they go out, they bring out, they bring in a new quarterback, new offensive coordinator, and look like a much, much better team this year.
Yeah, and they do, and they haven't had taken in many key big injuries, and they just don't have the depth that some of these other teams have. So. As long as they, don't take key injuries and they lose, let's say, 2 good defensive linemen or 2 defensive backs, or their best running back and best receiver, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah. The big game last week was that LSU Texas A&M game, a really fun one. I mean, LSU was really dominating in the first half. A&M goes into the locker room. They decide to make a change at quarterback. Wegman goes to the bench. Marcel Reed, the freshman, comes in and starts. He ends up running for 3 touchdowns. I think he only threw the ball 2 times. So now Texas A&M, with that win, they remain undefeated in SEC play. Now on the road against South Carolina, about a 2-point favorite tomorrow. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, so when I looked at this game, I'm saying the line should be probably Texas A&M 3.5 to 4.
Yeah.
They are clearly trying to get you to play A&M. I don't think you fall for the trap here. I think South Carolina will be ready for Marcel Reed. I mean, maybe Connor Wegman ends up going in the transfer portal if he doesn't get his job back. He might be one of the most highly sought-after quarterbacks. I think the kid has talent. For some reason, I don't think it's the system. I just a little bit the receivers. Doesn't have the receivers of last year, but sometimes maybe something's going on as far as injury-wise. When he came back 2 weeks ago, not 100%, but this Aggies team has had trouble with dual-threat quarterbacks, and that's what South Carolina have. They are off of a bye, South Carolina is, looking for revenge for last year's 31-10 loss. And A&M 2-5 against the spread as a road favorite. I like South Carolina here. They win the game 24-23.
I love it. I'm with you on that one. South Carolina, I think, gets the job done tomorrow. Another game in the SEC, Tennessee Volunteers, they've had a really, really good season, really relying on that run game and the defense. This week against Kentucky, that loss last week, really, really bad loss to Auburn. They make a change at quarterback late in that game. Vandegrift just has not looked very good this season. But right now, Tennessee, about a 16-point favorite going into this game tomorrow. What do you think about this one?
Talking about Vanderstiff or Vandegrift?
Yes.
This kid is he's just not good enough. No. I mean, he just can't complete the basic, 10, 15 and out, and you got to be able to hit on that in the slants, and he just can't do it, and that's why they're going to a backup sometimes now. When you start playing 2 quarterbacks, your offense is in trouble. Gavin Winsett, there's a reason that he's not at Rutgers anymore. I think Tennessee, that last half of football that they played in their game against Alabama, they always played well defensively pretty much, but the fact they put it together offensively and came up with those 2 key touchdown drives, I think that they're getting things going here. So just think that this Kentucky team needs to control the ball, and their only big win, they controlled it for over 39 of the 60 minutes here. So I don't see them doing that with the Tennessee defense here. I think Tennessee pulls away here, 34-13.
Okay, I like it. I know a lot of people in the listening audience like that as well. I do want to get to an NFL game. I'm rocking my Dallas Cowboys hat today at Sports 56. I've already caught a lot of flack for it.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up here in Memphis, but
And so what's the connection to Dallas? Is there a connection?
My dad was a big Cowboys fan, growing up. He said that was kind of the only team to watch, and so, he just kind of ingrained that in me. So I'm a big Cowboys fan, but it's been hard to watch this year. I'll be completely honest. Now this week, they take on the Falcons. Right now, Falcons a 2-point favorite. Lee, I hope you give me good news. I'm not banking on it, but it's been a rough season. What do you like in this game, Falcons and Cowboys?
So I liked their game plan last week against San Francisco. They were coming off of the bye. The problem was they just don't have the talent here to compete on a consistent basis with the top teams. They played well in the first half, and they were only up by 7. They should have been up by 10 to 14 points. And then what happens in the second half? We see the San Francisco 49ers make some adjustments and 3 straight touchdown drives. I just don't think they have the talent. On top of that, they couldn't stop second and third string running backs for San Francisco. How are they going to stop Bijan Robinson and then Tyler Algier running the football and catching it out of the backfield? They might be the best 1-2 punch. So, Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott, these two guys would probably rerun in third team on most teams now. Let's be honest. So it's going to be a tough road here. And then you got even Kirk Cousins, 10 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions over the last 4 weeks. I like Atlanta, 31-24.
All right. Going with the Falcons. I know we have a free play to talk about, but Lee, before we get to that, tell people more about what they can find on Paramount Sports, how they can get more of you, and what y'all have got going on over there.
Yep. So we have a free play. It's going to be Georgia and Florida. How big is this game?
Oh, man.
The world's largest cocktail party. You want to get the game for free. Be one of the first 5 callers. We'll be waiting by. Be more than happy to speak to you and tell you how the service works. And just go to ParamountSports.com or call 800-400-9741. Be one of the first 10 callers. And how about this? We had a winning September, winning October, and now we move into not November. We call it Dovember. You can get 5 weeks of action in our football. That's 30 straight days of football. Normally $597, just $397. ParamountSports.com or call 800-400-9741.
Wow, that is a heck of a deal. Lee, as always, love having you on. Love listening to you with John. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again next Friday.
Okay, sounds good. Take care.
Thanks, Lee. Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports. Go ahead and get on that phone. Give them a call. Get this free play. Georgia against Florida. That is a big game, a big number. I believe Georgia right now about a 16-point favorite. And how about, Dovember? I like that. I know it was Locktober in October, so I didn't know if they had a name for November. A little Dovember. I like that. Let's make that dough.
Yeah, that's the first I heard it. It kind of made you chuckle, dude.
Yeah, I like that. That was
a little Dovember action.
I couldn't stop myself.
I think that goes hand in hand with John's months. So you got months and Dovember.
Dovember. Locktober goes right into Dovember. I made some dough last night. How about backing the Jets and backing the Grizzlies last night, plus the 6. I thought that was easy.
The Jets were easy because of if you lay it all out. Short week, no weapons for Stroud, so on and so forth. But the Grizz was the one, kahunas on that one.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my logic for the Grizzlies. Is you have, and maybe I was looking too much into it and it just worked in my benefit. So I was really worried because Bucks are a good team. You know, this is a good group. And
they don't have stars. They have 2 superstars.
Exactly. You got Damian Lillard out there. You've got Giannis. So I think that worries you. But they haven't been playing well, and that also worried me because you think eventually they'll bounce back, right? Like the Bucks are gonna be fine. You think
once Middleton gets back.
Exactly. And so I was a little nervous about that. And then I think what really made me take it is because I go, Grizzlies are a 6.5 point dog at home. And there's questions on if Giannis will play. And so I was like, I don't want to risk thinking about betting this game and then Giannis is out, and that number jumps from Grizzlies a 6.5 point
10.
dog. Well, if he's out, you'd go from Grizzlies being a 6.5 point dog to maybe even a favorite.
Oh, okay,
you never
I see,
know
yeah,
how
yeah.
much that will swing when a star like that is out, especially with Ja and Jaren and everybody playing. But I really looked at this and I said, okay, Ja is very frustrated with the fact that people are so is Jaren. They both talked openly after the game against the Nuggets about how people are calling them soft and all of this stuff about different things because they're on these minute restrictions. So if Ja plays tonight, which we knew Ja was going to play, he's going to be out for blood. He's going to want to prove who's soft. It ain't me. And so
he did that in the first quarter.
Yeah. So I was like, I feel pretty good. This feels like a good spot for the Grizzlies at home to get a win. You're getting, plus money if you wanted to play them on the money line. You're getting plus 6.5.
Better jump on it.
Let's jump on and see what happens. And it was easy. So definitely glad the Grizzlies were able to get there. How much, I know you work over at the TV station on Thursday nights, how much of the Jets and Texans game, because we haven't really we haven't had time to talk about it, how much of that game were you able to catch last night?
Man, a minuscule amount. Very minuscule amount.
That's okay.
I probably caught up more or less around the fourth quarter at night. It kind of pretty much was locked into the Bucks and the Grizz last night.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard kind of juggling a lot going on last night, but
a lot of
certainly
stuff going
the
on.
Grizzlies and the NFL game.
And one catch to your about Florida and Georgia, the Sharks are out, so that number has gone down to 14 and a half. So it seems like a lot of money came in on 16 and a half for Florida.
I really do like a lot of Lee's plays. If you missed him, he likes Vanderbilt tomorrow against Auburn. He likes Arkansas covering. He actually said he thinks Arkansas pulls the upset over Ole Miss tomorrow. He likes South Carolina at home against Texas A&M. He likes Tennessee as the big favorite against Kentucky. And then in the NFL, he likes the Falcons over my Dallas
You haven't upset
Cowboys.
Ole Miss though, man. Off a bye,
man.
shouldn't that motor be cranked the same way you said Josh should have been? I think you're gonna get one of those type performances from Ole Miss, man. I just did.
Well, Ole Miss didn't have a bye last week.
I thought they were off last
No,
week.
they had Oklahoma.
They have been
It
back.
was
Yeah, they
the-
did.
it was the week
Yeah.
before,
That
I
was the
believe.
week before. Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah. So I mean, I'm interested about that game. I think Arkansas, the way they've been playing, I think they can keep it close. We're obviously going to make our picks during Friday Football Forecast this afternoon, so I don't want to give too many of the plays away. I know we're going to do bets at the end of this show. I've got a bet to give away because I would just feel so bad. Sometimes we do the show and I go, yeah, Darian, I'm going to leave the bets to John. I don't really have anything. I felt that'd be really bad to do on a Friday. I mean, everybody's just clamoring for a bet for the weekend. So I've got one. I don't know if you have one for the weekend or not, Darren. I'll be honest. I'll tell you this right now. It is also my shock for this afternoon on Friday
So
Football
it's
Forecast.
happening tonight.
No. It's not happening tonight, but
Not
it's
happening
just for this afternoon when we do our Friday Football Forecast. It will be included in those picks. It's a tomorrow game, so don't worry. Tonight, I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to the games for tonight. I don't know how much I like any of them. I know UConn plays tonight. That's about it. And Yale and Columbia. That was a great FCS game in the Ivy League. Yale and Columbia. But last night, that Jets-Texans game was it was a fun game. You had the second half. Aaron Rodgers really turned it on. Didn't look very good first half. Played much better in the second half. And then I'm sure you've seen the catch by Garrett Wilson.
Yes, so you brought that up, and one point I wanted to bring up. Strangely enough, same stadium as Odell
That's
did
right.
it in. Exact same stadium.
MetLife, yes. And obviously he did it with the Giants in a game against the Cowboys. And last night, Garrett Wilson. And after the game, they were talking to Aaron Rodgers. I never watch the post game on Thursday Night Football. It has nothing to do with I don't like him. It's just usually I either go to a late night basketball or hockey game or I go to bed. So I don't really stay with the Thursday Night Football postgame show. But last night I did, and they had Aaron Rodgers on, and Aaron was like, because I think it was like a third and long? Because that's exactly what happened. Because I was confused, because I had looked away and I came back and I was like, what just happened? Aaron Rodgers on third down scrambled out and picked up a first down. And was freaking out. He was he even said after the game, he was like, that was my best run I've ever had in the NFL. they called it back for a hold. So now it's like 3rd and long, and he said he's back there, the pocket's collapsing, and he said Garrett Wilson all week has just been saying, man, just throw it up to me. Throw it up to me. I'm going to make a play. Throw it up to me. And so he said he had a young corner on him. I don't remember exactly who the cornerback on him was. So he goes, I just said, whatever. We're in field goal range. Worst thing that happens is this is an incomplete pass, and we kick a field goal. I think the field goal would have tied. It was 10-7 at the time. So he just threw it up there. Garrett Wilson makes one of the greatest catches you'll see by a football player. So it was awesome. And then, that made it 14-10. They were able to get the ball back. They were able to tack on another touchdown. So they ended up winning pretty convincingly. If you had Jets -2.5, you got there pretty easy.
I got a little bit of that post game ready to rock if you want something.
You always got to be careful with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah, I was.
I think he kept it pretty
I was. So, yep, so here's Aaron at the presser last night.
What did that do for you physically at this stage of the season?
Listen, I told you, I think Connor asked, but something happened last Sunday physically for me, and I feel so much better. I was able to run around a little bit more. Now give me 10 days, I feel like my legs will be back, and hopefully, we'll have a good stretch of health moving forward. But we got a lot of guys banged up. Obviously, John went out. ABT's been out. Jake went out. Guys in the secondary, Chuck's been out. TA's been out. Both DJ and Sauce went down. They both came back in the game. But
yeah, so he says his legs are back.
All right. I mean, it certainly looked like it on that play, and I mean, now they get the extended rest.
So that means the Achilles finally feeling better, because that's what he has to be talking about. Because he hadn't been mobile at all since since he had that injury. He has not been the same Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't scramble for those elusive, 5, 10, 15 yards that he used to. Even inside the pocket, it seems like if he's in the pocket, he's either getting rid of it or he's going down.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, maybe he is back. We also had the play last night. Malachi Corley, the young receiver from Western Kentucky, I believe. He gets early in the game. I don't remember exactly when it was, but early in the game, he gets loose, gets into the end zone, touchdown. All right, everybody celebrating. He dropped the ball before he got to the end zone, so that was called back. And
oh my God, dude! I saw a post where I guess someone randomly dropped some coin. They dropped about $50 down for him to score the first touchdown.
Okay, I don't know if I buy that.
And I think it was like plus 10,000 or plus.
I believe it. I mean,
and it said the guy would have won almost $15,000. But he said talk about a bad bet.
Honestly, if he did do that, first off, he's a moron.
Yes.
Because here's Malachi Corley's stat line for the 2024 season: 1 reception for 4 yards. What do you mean you bet on him?
Maybe that was his cousin or something, man. I don't know who the person was.
Inside information. I don't know, or maybe it was fake. You see a lot of people make fake tickets to try to show their knowledge.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. He could have probably did that beforehand, just screenshot it. It was okay.
Or after, I see a lot of people will after something happens, they'll put it together real quick and Photoshop.
Like they had it already.
Yeah, and they'll be like, oh yeah, we're winning bets over here, and it's like, okay, man,
we're winning bets over here, baby.
They're pretty good Photoshops. They're good.
Yeah, because it got me. I was looking at it, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. But maybe it was real. If it was, I got questions about your betting practices, but. I guess that's okay. But everyone now has a Discord and stuff like that. I don't know about you, Darian. I know you're a little older than me. There are 4 or 5 people that I do not talk to that I knew, kind of knew in high school, and they'll post on their Instagram story and be like, "We just cashed 3 tickets. Join the Discord."
I got a cousin that's like that, and it's like, dude, what are you talking about? What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Nobody wants to join your Discord, big dog. Good for you though. If you're actually winning those bets, good for you. But I don't want to join your Discord.
And not at all.
But I guess they're charging for the Discord too. So you think I'm gonna pay you to give me? I don't know. Maybe some people out there, but it's certainly not me.
Paying for the Discord, and you got Lee Sterling on your side.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess we're the exception, you know. But you can just listen, you know. You can listen to Lee Sterling. I guarantee you, Lee Sterling's gonna give you better bets than, you know, Joe Random from high school. I don't know. But we need to get to a break. When we come back, I don't know if we'll have T-Money in Uncle Brasky. If we do, we'll talk a whole lot of nonsense and bets with them.
Best segment of the week.
It's fantastic. If we have them, great. If not, we'll probably just talk about the weekend of football because we haven't had a lot of time to talk today. But we'll do all of that next on Happy Hour.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip is easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does your favorite mixers. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent out to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff, just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. I have been told that my ads are all business and I should share some of my personality. Okay, I love tongue twisters, like the one about the terrific tasting toast by Taste Tester Toaster, or Big Black Bugs, Bleed Blue Blood, and of course Sally and her seashells. Or of course the ever-present I'm a mother pheasant plucker, I pluck mother pheasants. Okay, enough of that. If you want an honest, fair, reasonable roofing, siding, or gutter estimate, call Five-Ash Roofing at 367-0050. That's exactly what you'll get. No empty promises, no high-pressure sales tactics, and no fast-talking salesman trying to convince you that today and only today is the best day for you to get a new roof. For the record, the best day to get a new roof is when you're ready for one. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
4.9 liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back into Happy Hour. No Johnny Radio today. He's out. Hopefully he's back on Monday. Bryant Dacus, Darian Newsom in his absence. And I am happy to report that we have both T-Money and Uncle Brasky with us. Everybody's favorite segment to end the week. We'll start with T-Money. T-Money, what's going on? What you been getting into this week?
Oh, Brian, we've been doing nothing. You know, we've just been hanging out, kind of fishing a little bit, just kind of enjoying the week. It's beautiful out. Had to, you know, you got to blow leaves this time of year, Brian. I don't know if you're a homeowner or not.
I'm not, thankfully.
You got to blow these leaves, and you got to stay on top of these leaves because they're coming, okay? Just when you think that all of them have failed, they're going to fall again, I promise.
You know, T-Money, I have a very different mindset when it comes to leaves, and I have this at my parents' house. You know what? The leaves are going to fall. Just let them. You know, I mean, I see people all the time getting rid of the leaves. And like you just said, more leaves are going to fall. I mean, it's not until the dead of winter when all of the leaves are falling. I mean, just let them be. You know, just make that your yard is a bunch of leaves.
Brian. Then they'll mat up on you when it rains. And then they get heavy. And then, you know, it's kind of better to stay on top of them. Maybe not. You know, once a week, let them fall for a couple weeks, and then you clean them up. Let them fall a couple weeks and clean them up. I mean, and it's good exercise too, especially for T-Money out there. Get loose a little bit on those leaves, Brian.
It's a life lesson. I'll write that down. Make sure to stay on top of the leaves. Maybe that's why I'm not
lesson
a homeowner.
From T-Money. I got lots of lessons. You know, I've life coached a few people in
see.
the past.
I like it.
Yeah, my best life coaching I did, this old gal, she was down and out, and now she's got a family and selling houses and lives out there, and kids going to Briarcrest and all kind of stuff.
That?
But we got her, we coached her up, and she's doing good.
I love that. That's great. So John always tells me, I've never had the pleasure of attending an AA meeting. He talks about these 12 steps. Do you have the T-Money's 12 steps to a better life?
Absolutely. Especially if you're in a bad relationship. Rule number one is don't always think that you're the only girlfriend. That's usually their first mistake. These girls thinking that they're the only girlfriend.
Interesting.
So get that out of the way, then we can build on other things, Brian.
But
usually that's the number one problem, that you think you're the only girlfriend.
I see. Uncle Brasky, do you have a 12 Steps to a Better Life by Uncle Brasky?
No, not really. I mean, the only 12-step program I went to was court-ordered, but I do know you can't make no hoe into a housewife. I do know that. They'll be running down on you and out there turning tricks.
Well, I guess that is a true statement. Brasky, Ole Miss over the weekend, they got a win over Oklahoma, but it wasn't easy. How you feel about your Rebels?
We did. I think the defense is stout. You could not have told me coming into this season that we could hold every team under 25 points and not win those games. You couldn't tell me that.
That's true.
With the offense we had last year.
How'd y'all do down there with Big Splendor and Herman and them coming down there?
Well, that Herman's one of them Oklahoma freaks. So he got down here Friday. And he was pretty well tight when he got here about 2:30 Friday. I guess it was about 6:30 Friday night. He fell out in the cab on the way home from the square. Them boys can't handle 2 days at the square.
Wow.
And then we got out at the Grove because it was an early kick. Of course, Kevin Costner was here, don't you?
Oh, really?
See that?
Oh, I heard that. Yeah, what's his daughter?
Kevin Costner was down here, yeah.
She may go to Ole Miss or something.
Yeah, but Kevin Costner was here at the Grove, and we got out there for 7:30 for the Bloody Mary bar. Game went fine. It was just kind of slow, boring, but I mean, we got up 2 scores right after halftime, and just kind of defense smothered them, and then we hung around in the Grove. I'm sure people were ready to watch us leave, but we were headed back up, and then Big Slender fell out about 5 o'clock and skinned his knee and elbow up. Luckily, his head fell over in the azaleas when he tripped over the curb, and his head fell into the azaleas, so it didn't hit with no concrete. But other than that,
what do he have, those orthopedic slippers on or something?
Yeah, he had his magic shoes like Forrest Gump, man. That guy is so goofy. Then his feet, he walked wrong I said, man, you got to get you some shoes. You're over here in the bushes. I'm having to pick you up, hurt my back.
You ever seen him with some lace-ups on it, or he's always got them orthopedics on?
He's always got those magic shoes, or what did Forrest call them? Magic shoes, or whatever they were. I don't know.
Walk and run.
Yeah, he fell out one time during the SEC championship game and tore his ACL, falling down some people's steps at their house party.
Oh, wow.
And
with his sunken in, that's right.
Whatever
Man, he tore it from the bone or something.
Wow.
It was nasty.
Holy cow.
Yeah, but anyway,
he's crawling around. Yeah, it's not a good look.
He wore special shoes ever since then. So,
yeah.
But he looked.
There's a lot of user error on Big Slender. A lot of user error.
Interesting.
Right.
Not
good.
Who was the fella that lives in Oklahoma and came in one weekend with y'all and had a suspended license or something like that? Got all the way here. Okay, so he was down there this weekend. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he came. He drove about 8 hours. I didn't ask him if he made it here, so I assume that he didn't get absconded anywhere.
Well,
maybe he got his driver's license back and his light fixed. I don't know. I mean. But to drive 8 hours dirty.
Well, man, not a great idea. Brasky, the Ole Miss basketball team looks pretty good. You excited about some hoops?
I am excited about that. I think we're ranked like 22nd, maybe. That we start out the season something like that. But we played a good Illinois team in an exhibition game and beat them by 74-94 or something.
Yeah.
Well, hung a
Looked
lot
really
of points
good.
on.
Yeah, I was really
So
impressed.
maybe, I think that Chris Beard may be the real deal. I mean, we know the
Okay.
guy can coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just keep him off the sauce. And,
Well, yeah.
you know, you know, we're kind of like a rehabilitation program down here.
Well, he's not the only coach, so I guess that's a positive. T-Money, what you think about the Tigers basketball starting here in a couple days?
I mean, you know what? This may be I'm not to say out of line or anything, but I don't even know who's on the team, Brian.
yeah.
Who's on the team?
That's a shame.
I mean, all this stuff is switched over and stuff like that. I mean, it's a new team every year. I know that's the way basketball is now, and with the NIL and all that stuff. But man, I remember back, when I was a little money. You knew the guys coming into the next year. You knew their stats. You knew, hey, he's been here 2 years. We were all excited. Back when we would get Kelly Wise coming back. Hey, Kelly's coming back. He averaged double, and you can talk about him and see him riding around in the expedition and stuff like that. Man, you just don't see that anymore. Or maybe T-Money got too old to see it. But, I don't know who's on the team. P.J. Haggerty, is he one of them?
Yeah, he sure is.
I think I saw him I just saw him on the cover of the Daily Memphian or something like that, and saw his name. And I said, "Oh, that's a kid. I know that name." I couldn't tell you anybody else. Oh, somebody said Moses Cissay's back.
Oh,
is that
yeah.
true?
Yeah, Musa, he's back. And how about this, T-Money? Yesterday, he spoke to the media and called himself the best defender in college basketball. Now, I'm sure both of y'all could talk about this because he was at Ole Miss last year, so I'm sure Brasky saw a lot about him. I guess, T-Money, what do you think about him calling himself the best, not one of the best, because I made that mistake yesterday. I said that I thought he said he was one of the best. No. He called himself the best defensive player in college basketball.
Well, I like that type of confidence in a young man. We need somebody to protect the rim and get up there. I mean, we thought we were going to get that with Wiseman, and that's probably the last time we've talked about an elite defender. And unfortunately, that young man's hurt again in the NBA. I don't know if he'll ever, amount to what he was supposed to. And that's not a knock on him. It's just tough to stay healthy and play, and they don't really use a big guy like that anymore in the NBA. Yeah. But I like that little confidence that he's got in himself, and I hope the Tigers do good. Look, I'm a huge Penny Hardaway fan. I always have been, and that's when everybody said, money, when we're going to hire Penny. And I said, I love that we're going to hire Penny, but what happens when we got to fire Penny? And that's a sad day in town. Now you had to fire Larry Finch, you had to fire Penny. Keith Lee won't come around the program. Right. Derrick Rose, he hadn't put on Tiger Blue since 2008 when he left out of that locker room in San Antonio. He hadn't thought twice about it. So you're talking about four of the arguably best players ever to come through this program, and you got to fire two, and two don't want nothing to do with you. That's going to be a sad day in Tiger basketball, and that's just the truth of it.
Sure.
I mean, Penny's got to win. I mean, I love Penny. I love Penn. I holler at Penn. I see him on the street. Hey, Penn, what's up, Penn? And he knows money. He's all T-Money. What's up now?
Of course.
So, I love him, but, we got to win.
Now,
bottom line, got to win.
Now, T-Money, did you say you refer to him as just Penn and not Penny?
Yeah,
so
Big
you
Penn.
shorten it?
Yeah, I just call him Big Penn. Yeah. What's up, Big Penn?
I like it.
Shorten it. Yeah.
I like it. Why not?
That's right. What's up, Big Penn? He knows T-Money. He knows the business.
I love it. Brasky, is Musa Cissay the best defensive player in college basketball?
I sure hope not. He was not that good last year. I hear every year this is the best team Penny's ever got. I told y'all the best way for them to get to the NCAA every year is conference realignment and go in the Missouri Valley Conference, and they can win that every year.
Well, I mean, the American might be worse than the Missouri Valley this year. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you see these teams, and then how Memphis, that's been a powerhouse in basketball, can't win the dang conference.
Well, that's a good point. It's a very good point. What if Musa Cissay was an inside job? He starts his career at Memphis, makes his way down to Ole Miss, plays terribly on purpose there just to come back to Memphis.
No, I don't believe that. That man needs to eat some hamburgers. He's got to put some weight on if he's going to be that big, bad defender in the middle. He's kind of thin. He is a slim guy. he's like 7'6".
Yeah, no, he's tall.
I mean, he's tall. I mean, he can slap the ball around, but you also got to, when you got one of them big guys at other schools that can put them elbows all in that skinny body, that gets to hurt.
How about this, Uncle Brasky? You just referred to Musa Cisse as being 7'6". Florida has a freshman this year that's 7'9".
Wow.
How?
I have no idea. I have no clue. 7'9". He's a freshman.
Is it some kid from Poland they found? Because they always find some kid from Europe.
You know,
like 7'6", 7'7".
I think he actually might be foreign. I know he played at IMG in high school, but
Academy,
yeah, but I don't know. I don't know where he's originally from. I don't know his nationality. So, but he's a tall guy. He throw him out there for opening tip, and then if he can't do anything else, at least he can win the opening tip, I guess.
Yeah, he could do that. You know, he could get down there and just get you a few goals to you.
That's right.
You know, I mean, smack the ball back.
I mean, he at that size, you can at least grab 10 rebounds, right? I mean,
exactly.
Shouldn't be
I
that
mean, all
hard.
you got to do is pin it against the backboard and pull it down.
That's right. All right, well, we're quickly running out of time. Let's get to some picks because that's really what you are here for. T-Money, let's start with you. What do we like this weekend?
Brian, we got a good little slate of football games on. A lot of them start at 11, kind of like last week. But just remember, Brian, you know, I don't know your bankroll any more than you know mine. And with that being said, I love the Oregon Ducks this week. I really think that they are the number one team in the country. And Dylan Gabriel's playing fantastic. They beat my Buckeyes, which is okay because it was a great football game. But I like Oregon. I think they're laying the 14 points. They're playing Michigan, who is already lost 3 football games. And I mean, I guess when you can't cheat, you can't win. I mean, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. All that talk we've talked about, all them Michigan cheating. But it's not a good look that they got busted cheating, and now you're 5-3 and you can't really, you can't beat anybody. And Oregon's going to come to town. I think they're going to lay the smack down on the Michigan Wolverines this weekend. And it is at Michigan. It's at the Big House. That's why it's not 25 and it's 14. But it'd be 3 touchdowns if it was in Oregon. So I like Oregon minus 14 points over Michigan. Starts at 2:30.
I like it. Are those your only plays for the weekend?
I got one more play.
All right, let's hear it.
This team's hot right now. I think this team's as hot as any team in the country, and they're a blue blood, and they got the pedigree, and they got the coach, and I like the quarterback, Klubnik. I like Clemson this week. They're at home. They're laying just 10 points versus Louisville. Excuse me, the Cardinals up there, and Cardinals aren't good. They're like a 5-3. They're kind of like a Michigan squad, and Clemson's on fire. They're scoring a lot of points. They're covering the spread. I think Dabo's got something to prove. Hey, I don't have to go in the portal to get my team where we need to get. We can develop players here. So I like that. I like Clemson. They're on a roll. Dabo rubs me the wrong way at times or whatever. And when they don't cover for T-Money, I cuss Clemson like a dog when they don't cover. But I think they cover this week minus 10. That's a later game. I think that tips 6:30 on ESPN. I think that's their late game. So I like Clemson this weekend minus the 10, and I like Oregon minus the 14. Let's get rich, Brian.
Let's do it. Let's have a weekend. Uncle Brasky, I don't know if that was a sneeze or what that was. What are your plays?
Well, that was me about to choke to death on that Clemson play.
Okay,
there.
I see.
Clemson, the only team they played above 500 all year was Georgia, and they got run out.
Yeah, that's
Every
true.
other team had a losing record, so that kind of skews that Clemson a little bit. So I don't know. This is going to be the first team with a winning record I think they've played this year, So who knows? But let me give you my play.
Let's hear it.
Me and Money are going to disagree on that one because Clemson kills me. I can bet them any which way, and it's going to go wrong. But I am going to stay off of. You better believe that. I'd go the other way if it was me. But we're not going to argue, get to fight amongst ourselves. But I tell you what, I like Kentucky catching 17.5 at Tennessee. Kentucky has a defense. If they can just hold the ball a little bit, you're talking here again about a 3-score game, 3 or 4-score game here. Just hold the ball and cover that. Now, here's one that I didn't understand the line on this, and you may can help me. I know Auburn finally got a win with the nickel play this week. I'm taking Vandy and
I love
Pavia
that.
plus 7.5 at Auburn.
I love it.
I thought this would maybe be Auburn favored by 3. I don't get this line at over a touchdown, but I love it. So I think you take. And plus, Vanderbilt's fighting to get bowl eligible.
That's right.
They got something to play for. All
Sure
Auburn's playing for is to transfer out next year. Get this over with. Let's get our name in there.
Yeah.
Maybe make a couple tackles.
Yeah.
And then the dime bag play this week, they've not covered for 3 or 4 weeks now, but I feel like this is a week because everybody in the nation is saying to take Arkansas plus 7.5. So we're going to take Ole Miss minus 7.5, buy it down to 7 if you're worried about that hook. That's a dime bag play this week.
All right. I like it. Good plays from both of y'all. Team Money likes Oregon and Clemson. Brasky hates Clemson, but likes Kentucky plus the 17. Vandy plus 7.5. And then Ole Miss minus 7.5 is his dime bag. Fellas, always fun having y'all on. We'll do it again next Friday.
Have a good one, Brian.
We'll see you. And just remember, Brian, a broke man is a dangerous man.
Thanks, fellas. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to y'all again on Friday. We need to go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we come back, we'll wrap up today's show. We might even give you a couple bets for the weekend. We'll do that next on Happy Hour.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
You know the great thing about having an event catered by Central Barbecue?
What was that?
They turn any event into a cookout.
You stole that directly from their website.
Well, I didn't expect you to have looked at their website.
I've got events coming up. It's the holiday season, and there's no better way to make things easier than to have Central Barbecue cater it.
They have everything. Box lunches, meat platters, nacho bar kits.
And half and full sheet pans of their traditional barbecue sides. I'm looking at the website right now. You're quoting it verbatim.
Not exactly verbatim.
Word for word. This is a new level of lazy even by your standards.
That doesn't make it any less true. You can't beat Central Barbecue Catering.
It's just plagiarism.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
What a day, Darren. I mean, we have had a wild, wild show, I feel like. It feels like 4 hours ago we were talking.
Shout out to Coach Penn. I just wanted to say it out loud. Shout out to Coach Penn.
Strange. I don't know. Should we take bets on if Penny actually knows? If Penny does respond? What's up, T-Money?
Hey, there was an immediate closure to that statement. He says, "What's up, Penn?"
I love that.
And Coach Penn says, "What's up, Money?"
What's up, Money?
What's up, Money?
He knows T-Money. Who doesn't know T-Money? I mean, it's a great point. No, we've had a really fun show today and about to wrap it up with some bets. I'll be honest. I did not know Brasky was going to go there. I did not know Lee Sterling was going to have it as one of his favorite plays. My favorite play of the weekend is Vanderbilt. I mean, Darren, you know I anchor down with the best of them. And I have no loyalties to Vanderbilt. I have no family connection or anything. Just like the Doors. You know, we run Vanderbilt football and basketball on one of our sister stations. So, you listen to them a couple times, you fall in love with the Doors. And this Doors team has become America's team this year. They've been playing good ball. Even last week against Texas, only a 3-point loss. And I'll be honest, this was the worst game Vanderbilt has played all season. I hate making that excuse after losses because I think any team would say, oh, well, we just played bad in a loss. Of course, you lost. You didn't. If you played great, if you played your best game, you would have won. But I did not think Vanderbilt looked great in that game against Texas, and I think they'll look much better this week against Auburn. I thought Lee Sterling brought up a really, really good point that, I don't know how many people around the country are talking Vanderbilt and Auburn at length, but Diego Pavia beat Auburn last year at New Mexico State. Jerry Kill, who is now in a advisory analyst role, whatever it might be, I don't know exactly what his position is at Vanderbilt, he beat Auburn last year as the head coach of New Mexico State. Vanderbilt's new offensive coordinator was at New Mexico State last year. There are a couple other players on that team that were at New Mexico State last year that are now on this Vanderbilt team. They know what to expect when going to Auburn. They're not going to be scared playing Auburn. And I don't think you've watched this Vanderbilt team play this year. I don't think they're scared of anybody.
At this moment, I don't think they're scared of anyone.
Diego Pavia, I don't think he has a scared bone in his body about anything. He's so confident about everything. So I really, really like Vanderbilt this weekend. I don't know what exactly the line is at now. I know it's been kind of bouncing around. I would say probably get it now. If you're gonna play it, probably get it now, because I think everybody is going to see, holy cow, Vanderbilt right now, 7.5-point dog. I'm seeing minus 108 for that game. I'm sure everybody tomorrow, that's an 11:45 a.m. First kick, I'm sure tomorrow morning everyone's going to go, how in the world is Vanderbilt 7.5-point dog? Everyone's going to hop on that. So I expect this line to be 6, maybe.
Point and a half different.
Yeah. So, I would jump on it now. You get that 7.5, so you have that touchdown cushion if they lose by a touchdown. I'm betting it right now. I'm putting it in. I like Vanderbilt tomorrow. Darian, is there anything you like before we get into the weekend?
Yeah, I actually have Syracuse plus 3.5 over Virginia Tech.
That's tomorrow, or is
that is tomorrow?
Okay, tomorrow. So I like it. Some good picks for us. We had picks all throughout the show. You can go back and listen to what Lee gave out earlier. Thanks everybody for listening. Hopefully John's back on Monday. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday.
Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa setting. It's happening right now. You can save thousands on in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. You know those cold plunges? You can get one for yourself starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17,499. Plus, Family Leisure has set up special financing just for this event. Have you been sitting on the fence about an above-ground pool? Get off that fence and get to Family Leisure to take advantage of huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. And if you need some patio furniture, it's all priced to move out now. It's not too late to have some summer fun.